Okay, welcome to this video. This is hopefully going to be a solution to this crazily bad design of TVRs, where to get to the front headlight bulbs and indicators and side lights and stuff like that, you need to take the wheel off and get your screwdriver out and take off this horrible piece of fiberglass. My idea is to put on a boat hatch. So if I can just show you, this is the inside piece, so this is going to look kind of like this, and then I'll just have to twist this middle bit anti-clockwise and out she'll come. So now messing about with screwdrivers, it's still going to be a pain because I'm going to have to jack it up and take the wheel off, but after that it should be easy peasy. Now looking where the screws are that hold on the original plate, this nearly fits. This is a 5-inch boat hatch and it nearly fits. I need to take some of this off, and where I've got most meat, so I'm kind of planning for disaster, so that if I make a mess of this I can still put the old fiberglass thing back on, which obviously I can't do if I ruin where these screw holes are. But I've got enough meat on this side to trim off so that this flange on the back of the hatch plate will fit in, and then I can look at either pop riveting or screwing through and holding it on with bolts and sealing round it with silicone. But I think first thing I need to do is draw a line on the inside, then cut slightly bigger than that, because obviously the flange on the back is about 2 or 3 mil wide, and then once I can get this sat as close to the side as I can, obviously there's going to be a little bit of a gap because this is quite a compound curve and this is flat, but we'll do the best we can. I shall trim this off and then we'll come back and see how it fits. Okay, you join me some minutes later. I've trimmed a little bit of this off. I've used a Dremel and worn a mask because it's fiberglass and God, you don't want to be breathing that in. Now what I've also found is I've had to kind of flatten off 2 sides to try and deal with the compound curve of the situation, and at the minute that fits pretty well. There'll be judicious use of silicone top and bottom. Not so bad at the sides, it's pretty flat at the sides, but obviously top and bottom it's got a bit of a gap behind it. Not much, I mean I can't get my finger behind it or anything, but obviously we want it to be watertight if we can. So I'm going to drill the holes now through the holes in the plate, and I'll have to source some of either, I think it might have to be, I was going to pop rivet it on, but that seems a bit permanent. So I think what I might go with is like machine nuts and bolts. I'll go source some of those because obviously I need some that will fit in these holes, and they do look to have a flange in, so they can be flatheads or countersunk. So I need to go find 6 nuts and bolts and then we'll come back and see if it fits. Okay, so welcome back. After a quick trip to the hardware store, I already had these Allen bolts, but no nuts and no washers, so I've got those. So I'm now going to offer it up, drill some holes through into the fiberglass, and then we'll start putting these bolts and nuts on and see what the fit's like. Okay, I've managed to get the ring on. It's a pretty good fit actually. There is a tiny gap at the top here, no gap here, even less of a gap here than at the top, no gap where I flattened it off, and nothing here. So you would have to put some Sikaflex or some silicone in these parts here and at the top to make it completely watertight, although the flange will probably stop most of the water coming in. And I'll just put the front on. So the front pushes in and then it's on there like a bayonet. It's difficult to do one-handed. And that's it. So in future all I'll have to do is take the wheel off and then undo this and you're in. No messing about with sharp fiberglass, half a dozen screws, and having to Sikaflex it every time you take it off. So I would say in terms of difficulty, this wasn't ridiculously difficult. You do need things like a Dremel probably to cut this, You could probably do it with a file if you're patient enough, but you're going to create a lot of dust. So you need to have a mask on when you cut this. I only cut probably, well, I can show you the bit that came off. That's the piece that came off. So what, 1.5 centimetres at most was there. And I could still have put the old thing back on top. I could still fit the old fiberglass thing on top if I wanted to. Like, it completely covers the hatch. So even if you kind of make a mess of it, you could still rescue it. So these are 5-inch boat hatches. These are about 10 or 15 quid off Flea Bay all day long. And I think they're a great solution to what was a pretty terrible design to begin with. I think that's about it. I'm going to silicone this up, and then I'm going to do exactly the same to the other side. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, ding the bell, all that good stuff. And if you're feeling brave, why not do this to your TVR? It's not that difficult. Okay, so I weakened and came back and shot it with the silicone on. So you can see it's completely watertight now. I've just used clear silicone because that's plenty good enough. And that's now watertight and so much easier to get into. So thank you for watching.